This is Wadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Wadu TV sunye mayama munyina kwa bamfambra so. Debi asema ye kan se bia na unhwe yen videos ta na first time ahwa se ne be ya bia benye videos ahwe ntino na waboa yen na hye nkran ntino na wa subscribe ye da se na wa like video no afen so comment section bi wase wo wia na oja comment atom wia nhwa na wa share e da maye na Black Rasta sanfa ya bi mu and na we dey go straight to some ministers biswa omohwe ye bo man na bro omampededa na nadoda kokufado na memuomu na ose akwa bi kura ye se ose ode ni sika ode ni sika aboa party na pa wonte won so ose otekakra se saa no mo ye ne MPP ne DC saa o boyen wo ye a businessman for sika boyen campaign ye ba power ye be mo watekakra akwa etie no du omampenya kache okopa bibi ate chese Abu Jinapor de eso no kosi ni so enye ize na masayense ase na Black Rasta say Abu Jinapor de wo se mahama hwehwe ne nsem pa e wo so hwehwe ni mo investigate ni pa na sa kwa no de with your man bro the West Minister Ghana yenya no the West Minister Ghana yenya mama so fa ba konka West no Sports Minister wa bonkeke ai omanya hwe na yenkoti Black Rasta.
Scrapping betting tax is a step forward. In fact, it was counterproductive. Scrapping betting tax is a step forward. It was counterproductive. And this is from a man called Samia Uku. I read it. Now, the former Director General of the National Lottery Authority, NLA, a new patriotic party member of parliament for Ikuapim North, Samia Uku, has expressed his delight over the government's decision to abolish the betting tax. He described the policy as ineffective and counterproductive, citing its failure to yield positive results in various jurisdictions. In an interview with the Daily Guide Network, Mr. Ewuku reaffirmed his long-standing opposition to the tax, which he had consistently criticized during the previous NPP administration. I am thrilled that the betting tax is being scrapped. Even during the NPP era, I argued against it because it had proven unworkable in several countries where similar taxes were introduced. Awuku further highlighted how the tax had inadvertently impacted government-owned institutions, including the National Lottery Authority, which also fell under its remit. The NLA, a government entity, was subject to the tax, meaning the government was effectively taxing itself. The situation undermined the NLA's ability to contribute to national revenue. He pointed out the unintended consequences of the policy, noting how it emboldened illegal betting operators by making them more attractive to players. Players knew that betting through the NLA would incur a 10% tax on their winnings, whereas illegal operators offered them full payout. It's an interesting time in our country. Samia Uku is saying that even in the days of the NDC and NPP still struggling to convince each other that the taxes were too much, my brother, my sister, or too little, or just adequate, he knew that the betting tax was a no to the umpteenth time. Samia Uku was the CEO of the NLA. There was a time the National Lotteries Authority made so much money, it was not funny. Today, Samia Uku is telling us a stalwart, a big wig of the NPP. That even when his party was in power, he criticized the so-called betting tax. And the excuse he gave, in fact, NLA was not able to make so much money because it was being taxed. My brother, let us look at some of these things that the brother has mentioned. And let's look at the deep contents of this. Now, the other thing Samia Wuku said is this. Oh, you know what? Because of the taxes on betting, illegal operators became very much more attractive. And therefore, many people went there to bet because they knew they will get the full money that they win. My brother, my sister, let us get into this and deal with it. What is the position of the country on gambling? Can I ask again? What is the position of the country on gambling? All these political parties claim that they are godly. They claim that they are either biblical or Quranic. Yet, they seem to embrace gambling, which is so much frowned upon by all these key religions. Somebody will say it's not a thing of the religions. Okay, let's put it aside and come into the moral fiber of this. My brother, my sister, if a whole president can go all the way to Israel and carry a rock on his bald head and carry it all the way down to Ghana to make it a foundation of a certain cathedral that has already swallowed 58 million American dollars, I beg your pardon, like a vampire with nothing to show. If a whole president of the nation can force his whims and caprices on the citizenry because he spoke to God and he promised God a certain house, and therefore everybody must pay for the building of that cathedral, it tells us how religious we are. Yet when it comes to making money, religion takes the back bench in this country. We don't want to hear about LGBTQI plus square root minus 6. We don't want to hear anything about man engaged in any sexual activity. Neither do we want to hear anything about woman and woman coming together for any sexual activity. Yet their money has no color. We would accept that night and day till thine kingdom comes. What hypocrites! Sometimes I sit back and I look at the so-called prophets, latter-day prophets who have become presidents, like Nana Akufo-Addo, like his finance minister, who will take the least opportunity to quote from the Bible. Yet, my brother, my sister, these are the people encouraging all the nasty things in this country, including betting, smoking, and drinking. Many people might see us as extremists. But my brother, my sister, let us be fair to ourselves and our logic. If you don't like gays, don't like their money either. If you do not like gambling, please don't benefit from gambling money. I am shocked. Every centimeter you walk in this country, there is a betting center. People are gambling their lives away. Hey, the only thing that has more numbers than betting centers in Ghana is mosquitoes. The only thing that we have in Ghana that is more than betting centers, I said, is mosquitoes. We have more mosquitoes in Ghana than betting centers. After that, betting centers come next, and then beaters. We have more beaters in Ghana than we have gold and diamond. We have more beaters in Ghana than we have hospitals and schools. Right now, we have even lost count of the number of beaters we have in this country. Kwame beaters, Nana ya beaters, Mami ya beaters, Asoriba beaters. All over the place, it looks like we are such a bitter nation. Can I get into the real fiber of this story? So Samuel Wuku says that if the betting tax is taken out, then we can make more money from gambling. My brother, we say that to bet, you have to be 18 and over. In a country where the IQ is so low, we raise our children in so much fear and timidity. 18 is equivalent to a 12-year-old in America or 10-year-old, true or false. Go to America, go to England, sit down and reason with a 10-year-old. The level of understanding of issues of a 10-year-old American, 10-year-old English boy. You come to Ghana, their counterparts are far, far behind. If I am wrong, tell me that I am wrong. It is in no way racing one race above the other. No, we are talking realism. But because America says 18 years, you are ready to go and drink alcohol. 18 years, you are ready to gamble. We also sit down here sheepishly and say, 18 years, you are matured. You can marry. You can marry any woman that you want. Go and marry. My God. Can you compare an 18-year-old Ghanaian, average Ghanaian, to an 18-year-old average British or American? Let's speak facts. We raise our children in timidity. They fear to even approach fathers and mothers. They go to school and they are fed with food that pigs would even refuse in America. Yet we expect that their brains will grow so well. We whip our students and peoples in the schools as if they were slaves. If I am wrong, tell me that I'm wrong. You want them to think the same way as children in America and in England and Korea and Japan? Tell me. My brother, my sister, betting is a demon. No man in his right senses, no woman in her right senses should ever be thinking about betting. It's a demonic caboodle. There were two members of my family who loved Lotto. Names withheld for personal reasons. They died poorer than the church mouse. Every weekend, Lotto. Lotto. They worked Lotto more than calculus. They knew everything about Lotto more than Albert Einstein. They died poor, hopeless, haggardly. Why do we want to saddle our youth with betting? Please, we beg you, this betting tax should rather be increased. If I had my own way, the national lotteries should be closed down immediately. Turn it into a school or turn it into a hospital. Why should you bet? Why should you stake Lotto? Instead of having lotteries and all that, have quizzes where you can rack your brain and win something. That is more progressive. I am saying, instead of having betting centers, let's have quiz centers where you can go in and test your knowledge. When you pass, you get some money. That is more rewarding than betting. Which team is going to win? I leave it here. Another thing I want to look at here, and I'm going to be very brief with that, is also coming from Ghana Web, right? And it says MPP financier fights Abu Jinapor for allegedly blocking him from accessing a Jubilee House contract. And who is Abu Jinapor? George Otibonsu, a financier of the NPP, lamented the party's neglect after spending his funds to support its activities. According to him, he has been treated unfairly by certain party leaders despite financing most of his campaign programs. Former General Secretary of the NPP, Ajeni Mbwache, came to me that I should come and support the party with my finance. Those days when Kufuor was in power, I took 1 billion each from people to support some MPs and also financed a party for Kufuor. I rented an office space at Tesano for the foot soldiers. I was the one sponsoring them and doing everything for them. Anywhere the party went, all the brass band following them belonged to me. I bought them all, he said. He has accused Abu Jinapor, a former deputy chief of staff, of denying him a contract that was supposed to be given to him during the NPP administration. Speaking in an interview on OKFM on January 15, 2025, he called for a change in the party's leader's behavior, or else nobody would support the party anymore. In his own words, he said, NPP was in power, and Eugene called me to come to the Jubilee House because they wanted to give me all the carpentry work there. So I should go to Jinapor. He was deputy chief of staff with Asensu Bwache. So I went to Abu Jinapor, and he told me that the work was available, but he wouldn't give me the contract. So just imagine that I have even done something to him. Is that how to treat people? He told me point blank, he wouldn't give me the contract. I am speaking with bitterness. So if I don't take care, I might say certain things. The party has been unfair to me after helping them on several occasions. So you see some of the blockheads that we have in this country. And this man is a grown-ass man. He's 60 years plus. These are the people who should be sitting with grandchildren and imparting wisdom to them. And look at the way of thinking of this block-headed old man. These people. It's people like this who make us fret to even get old. When I wake up and I see the gray hair dancing on my mustache and on my beard, I start to cry because of people like this. But I have hope when I think about people like Mugabe. I have hope when I think about people like Kwame Nkrumah. I have hope when I think about people who have impacted Africa greatly, not guys like this. Listen to what he's saying. He paid a lot of money to sponsor his party. He helped his party. Therefore, when his party came into power, he expected that they would reward him by giving him contracts. He went to the Jubilee House because he was told there was a contract. So he went there and then he contacted Abu Jinapor, who is one of the worst ministers the NPP has ever had. His brother Mahama should be looking into this man's activities. He was one of the most terrible ministers this nation has ever had, Abu Jinapor. So disrespectful to his own Yobonwura. At the same time, at least he was able to redeem himself by apologizing and doing the needful. So I wouldn't hold him for that. This guy became one of the guys who supported Galamsey right from the head to the bottom. This guy. When Sir John was busily stealing our lands, dirty ghosts like that, these were the people who were supporting the activities of those dirty ghosts. Abu Jinapor. I can't wait to see all these guys suffer what they did to Ghana. When they are in power, they think that they will be there forever. When they are in power, they think they are gods. When they are in power, my brother, my sister, they think they created God. All these people should be taught a good lesson in patriotism. It doesn't matter who is their brother. It doesn't matter who is their sister. It doesn't matter which chief or king gave birth to them. They must suffer for the punishment they gave to Ghana. That is the only way Ghana can prosper, my brother. Baba Abu Jinapor, look at the atrocities he meted out to the people of this nation whilst in power. And another blockhead, this guy here, says he sponsored his party and blah, blah, blah for that. You see? So this party thing is just a business outfit, an enterprise. People are only in there to invest into their own egos. When they come in that they want to support your campaign, they are only investing so that they can be part of the plutocracy. He's not even ashamed. I invested in brass bands. I got an office for the foot soldiers. I fed them. They were all under my watch. I did all these things for them. And then there was a contract. They told me I should go for the contract. When I went, Abu Jinapor told me he will not give the contract to me. Why did Abu Jinapor say he will not give you that contract? That he will not say. Because you probably were less qualified. Because you probably did not know anything about carpentry and you couldn't even help. But he won't say that. He wants everybody to be wrong, so he'll be right. Until we look at our political financing, political party financing, I'm telling you that this nation will continue to have governments in power that would only work to satisfy financiers. Should I say it again? We have to look at who finances the political parties, or else we are doomed. Or else, I said, we are doomed. Anybody can come in there and give them some coins. Listen to this guy. He gave 1 billion to who and who and who. He collected 1 billion each from some people and sent that to Kufuor. So he has done something monumental. For that matter, they should put him above everybody in terms of contracts and everything, because he's a party financier. Can you see where our nation is going? Can you see that? We have to look at how our political parties are financed. The other day we saw somebody walk in Nana Addo's office and doled out money at the full glare of the camera and gave it to Nana Addo, who collected it quickly with all speed and dashed it under his whatever. Today, my brother, we have to look at this again. And Mahama is going to face the same thing. People have financed you. People have paid a lot of money to see you become president. They all are sitting back waiting for you to deliver. Not to deliver to the nation, but to deliver into their pockets. That is sad. Hey, let Mahama satisfy the whole of Ghana. Let the whole of Ghana and the whole of Africa praise Mahama at the end of his tenure. His financiers, if they are not inordinately giving the taxpayers money for free in one way or the other, they will never be happy. So it's not about Ghana anymore. It's about who finances who. At this point, I want to pay a huge tribute to the great Thomas Sankara. He said something, and I'll close with that. You know what he said? He who feeds you controls you. Of course, if you're hungry and he feeds you and he tells you to jump to the left, who dare you say you won't do it? How dare you refuse his orders? You refuse his orders and you will be hungry the next moment. Till we learn to go hungry, till we learn to stand on our 2 feet independently and decide who to allow to finance us, my brother. They do not believe in your mantra. The financiers do not even believe in your tradition. They only believe in business. All those financiers are businessmen. They are not patriots. I leave it here. My brother, my sister, many more things are happening in our country. And I would like to close with the last story here. The president is making a lot of nominations, left, right, and center, putting key people, experienced people in so many different areas. My brother, my sister, but there is something here I would like to share with you from the international world. And I'm reading this from Graphic Online. It says, U.S. Senator urges Ghana to pay debts to American companies before seeking more IMF support. Did you hear that? U.S. Senator urges Ghana to pay debts to American companies before seeking more IMF support. And I read, a ranking member of the United States Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, Senator James E. Risch, has called on Ghana to prioritize the repayment of debts owed to American companies before seeking additional financial assistance from the International Monetary Fund. Now, this follows reports that Ghana's incoming finance minister is considering further IMF support to address the country's worsening economic challenges. Now, the debt estimated at $251 million American dollars is owed to several U.S.-based companies, including Twin City Energy, American Tower Company, GSM, Chubb, Cosmos Energy, and Zipline. In a post on X, Senator said, despite numerous attempts by these companies to recover their funds, the arrears remain unpaid. In fact, those who broke the statue of Nana Akufo-Addo in the Western region, second D to be very specific, if they had told me the day they were going to do it, I would have brought a cremator. Better still, I would have brought experts from the crematorium so that we'll go and cremate the whole statue. In fact, we need to pacify the gods of the land by pouring libation at the site where Akufo-Addo's statue stood. It has desecrated the land. Nothing will grow in and around the area because you have put an unimaginable demon's statue right there. Can I cut all this and go into the story? Listen, a few days ago, Nana Akufo-Addo told us that he was leaving the economy in so much good health, bequeathedly to Mahama. Please, can I break it down further? Okay, at this point, my tenure of office is over, and I am leaving the economy in a very good state to the next administration headed by John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency. Many were those who doubted this. Can I cut that away and go into another thing? We all heard a few weeks back before the election. It was rumored, later proven to be true, that they were supposed to give Asamoah Gyan alone $3 million American dollars to support them and their constitution team. They had millions to give out, yet you owe the Americans only $251 million American dollars. American companies like Zipline that was brought here to supply drones and medicines, like Chubb, like Cosmos Energy, like GSM, and even American Tower Company, including Twin City Energy. They are all American companies. $251 million. we are not able to pay them. Yet they say the economy is in a healthy state, according to Nana Akufo-Addo. Who are you fanfooling? Now, if the economy is truly in a healthy state, why would the finance minister want to seek more IMF loans? So, may I ask again? So, governance in Ghana is all about loans? Can I say it again? Governance in Ghana, is it all about loans? Go and collect the loans, satisfy your few foot soldiers, and then your financiers, and then you lose the elections and go away with the next government promising to solve the problems, and yet it's a routine cyclical despondency. They come back and do the same old things, going back to the IMF and the World Bank like silly beggars who never learn. Who is that leader who will stand on his 2 feet and say, yes, we are suffering, but no to loans? You have saddled your nation into gambling, saddled your nation with gambling, saddled your nation with stupidity, destroying the land and water bodies in the name of Galamsey, and boasting on TV how much gold you have been able to get by destroying the land, flora and fauna. Yet they don't go to jail. No. You go to Tongo and some parts of the northern region, a lot of the schools are empty. All the school children are on the Galamsey field looking for money. Why do we treat future generations like this? Are we okay? We need that leader who will behave like Sankara. No more exorbitant SUVs. All of us should drive in cars that do not even have air conditioners. All of us should start to go austere. But no, we want to behave like the Gold Coast that we are. We claim we have it all, yet we are so poor. My brother, well, it is clear, very, very clear, that until we pay the 251 million American dollars, we won't be able to saddle our nation again with more debt. It's a shame. I thought Wuntumi said he had so much money he could buy Chelsea or some other football team like that. Oh, Jesus. I sympathize with Mahama. We need radicality. We need to crack the whip. We need patriotic citizens. We need to make things work. Or else we will keep borrowing and borrowing till Jesus Christ comes, and then there will be rapture. I leave it here.